In the past few days, I've received a number of requests for my opinion with regard to Charlie's U-turn and his beliefs about 9/11 being an inside job. A wise man once advised me to cry at least once a day and laugh at least twice a day, and boy, have I cried and laughed when I thought about your requests for getting my opinion. Why are people turning to me, a lazy thinker from London, for my opinion about the change in belief of another lazy thinker from London? Sorry, Charlie. Let's get this straight. Some guy called Charlie in his 20s gets made redundant from a job in the city and bumps into some guy in his 40s, that's me, at a G20 protest. At that point, I'd been speaking on the streets with my signs in an unusual and often comedic way for over 2 years. You can actually see a video of when we first met on Charlie's channel. So I come to the table with a lot of content, and Charlie comes to the table with the idea of using a megaphone, which had never occurred to me, and with his camera and editing skills, as well as some content. We hit it off and make some films together, and over the years these films become relatively popular, and Charlie gets 50,000 subscribers to his channel. The films are comedic in nature, but have various underlying messages, including questioning the wisdom of the mainstream media, and questioning people relying on others for information, and challenging people to think for themselves. But of course, due to our conditioning, many viewers just turn Charlie into the next guru and believe everything he says and insult anyone who simply asks questions about his assumptions and ideas, calling them trolls and shills and whatever they call them. So I challenge you, dear viewer, yes, I'm talking to you. Actually, I'm really talking to the camera and ultimately to myself. So what I'm going to do is ask a bunch of questions, but I'm going to ask them in the first person, as if I'm asking myself, which of course I am. My invitation to you would be to pause the film after each question and create some silence so that you can really allow your own unique response to each question to arise in your consciousness. Here goes. What makes Charlie's opinion so interesting to me? What do I believe about 9/11? Why do I even have a belief about 9/11, if indeed I do? What actually is a belief? Who is it that is believing what I believe? Who is it? What difference does it really make if 9/11 was or was not an inside job? If I think it was an inside job, or if I think it was, as we are told by the mainstream media, am I aware of the ramifications of what I believe and what I say if I make that belief public? Am I turning to other people when questions arise within me? Do I really ever look deep inside myself for the answers to my questions? Where am I choosing to put my energy? Am I missing opportunities with anything that I do have the power to change? For example, my own thoughts, my way of being, my state of consciousness. Am I missing opportunities to make a difference to those things by putting so much energy into this question or others? What is my epistemology? That's a good word, isn't it? I.e., how do I actually go about deciphering if something is true or not? Do I even have a method? What part do my emotions play in what I believe? How attached am I to this idea or any idea? A good way to find out is to be aware of how I feel or felt when I saw Charlie had changed his mind. Did I feel angry? Why? Did I even go so far as attacking him verbally? Isn't that a bit bizarre? I've been thinking about expertise. I feel like I am an expert in 2 areas of my life. The niche market in which I work, and also the street performances I do. In both of these areas I've amassed hundreds of hours of experience, and of course there's room for improvement. If someone wanted to know more about either of those areas, I think it would be appropriate to ask me. But I'm definitely not an expert in any of the areas of knowledge in relation to 9/11, i.e. controlled explosions, engineering, aeronautics, etc. More importantly, I'm aware that I am often quite sloppy in my thinking, so I am no expert in deciphering the truth of any matter. If I wanted to know about Megaphone Street performance and how to make funky, effective short films, I would go to Charlie. However, if having answered all of the above questions, I still felt the need to find out someone else's opinion about 9/11, let's say, I would ask someone whose epistemology was sound. Charlie would not be anywhere near the top of the list. For me at least, it seems to be taking a long time and a lot of energy to learn to break the addictive habit of looking to others for the answers. If you want to break the habit, I wish you all the best and hope it takes less time and energy than it's taking me. If, however, you do not want to break the habit, and you like to be told what to do and what to think, the good news is that there are plenty of people out there who will happily tell you. Finally, I was a bit surprised there was not more humility in Charlie's announcement. He surely must know that people look up to him and listen to his opinions, and he's played to that either consciously or unconsciously. Perhaps it can be a lesson to me to be more disciplined with my research, more welcoming with challenges, and more sceptical, or should I say sceptical, of my own opinions. Please do not forget, do not believe a word of this nonsense.